Being the nicest, the kindest person at the gym is far more than just walking around, giving handshakes and smiling, or being the favorite person at the gym. It's more than that. So today we're going to be talking about 5 things that I think are so important for you to be doing at your gym. The countdown timer is clicking away over at Strike Ready, and there are something like 9 days left until the best sale ever for these programs expires. My 5 courses, offense, defense, takedown, movement, and my new training program, Edge, all of that for $550 plus in savings. Link down there, check that out, guys. Now, when we go to the gym, the atmosphere should be good. People should want to see us there. They should be excited that you've come to class, not only because you're just there sending out good vibes, good positivity, people are smiling, but for other reasons that may have evaded you. Let's dive into those right now. The first one that I want to talk about is taking the time to learn control. Because let's be real, when we go to the gym, let's say we're learning a roundhouse kick, right away they're teaching us how to hit the pad hard, right? Like, boom, hit it hard. Boom, hit it hard. And then we go and we start practicing flying through. But in kickboxing gyms, Muay Thai gyms, MMA gyms, how often do people take the time to learn the control? It's not something that's trained that much. That's more like a karate gym where we're doing the flick, flick, flick. But learning the control is so kind. It's so nice because when that point comes in your sparring where somebody makes a mistake, they drop their hands accidentally as you throw, let's say, that head kick. Maybe you fake down low and you're like, oh, and you thought their hand was there and you could have KO'd them, but you're able to pull it at the last second and stop people from getting hurt. This is a very selfless act to take extra time out of your day to go home and work on, okay, I'm gonna aim for this and I'm just gonna touch it, to have that ability to still maintain speed so you're not having to go like this and get countered, but you can control all these fancy techniques, which are, yes, kind of dangerous. If I went through with that, man, somebody's gonna have a broken orbital bone or something. So this to me is a great act of kindness, learning to control your techniques. The next thing, which is so important, is learning to spar competitively with everybody, but still kindly. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's say I'm sparring with somebody who's, a small child. Sometimes children who are very advanced come to the adult class. Or sometimes there are people who are just 50, 60 pounds less than you, or females in the class. What they do not like, and I've heard this on repeat from people, because I spar with them and they're like, oh, thank you for doing that. And I don't realize other people don't do it. What most people who are undersized feel like is everybody's kind of babying them. All right, I stand up here and I'm kind of like, and just everything is just being so kind to them, so slow, and they don't feel like they're being taken seriously. It does not make them feel good from what I've been said. What do? Whether it be a child who's down here, or a female who's here, or a guy who's a little shorter than me here, I just bend my knees. I get down to their height. Now from there, I decide what distance is appropriate for sparring. If their arms are this long, then I step in here and I do all my sparring like this. And I push them, not to the point where they're gonna get hurt, but to the point where they go, whoa, I got to really go in there and throw down, and back to our last point, have somebody who knows how to control and push them. People don't like being babied, right? They want to be feeling like they're actually getting a challenge when they step in there. And the number of times people have said to me after sparring, man, thank you for giving me some good rounds, for not just coddling me. I'm like, this is really important to people. So maybe you didn't realize that, but now you know it. Next up, I was over in Ontario one time doing some seminars, and at one of the gyms hanging out, had access to it throughout the day, and I didn't really have too much to do. And I looked around like, this gym's a little bit dirty just because the last class didn't clean up after themselves. So I went about vacuuming the space, giving it a little mop, and then the coach came in after and he's like, whoa, what happened? And I said, oh, you know, just give a little cleanup. And he was blown away. Whenever I'm at a gym as somebody out of town and I finish my sparring rounds and I go about cleaning after myself or cleaning up after myself, people are going, no, 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 you don't have to do it. You should. And the coach appreciates it. So when you are around the gym, look for small little things that you can do, right? It's his space. He's the one who pays the rent or owns the building, but it's also your space. You're part of the community. And the more things are tidy, the more people recognize, well, they're really trying, and the less people end up getting ringworm and all sorts of other nasty stuff. So take some extra time and clean up the gym. The coach will really appreciate it, and everybody else will start doing the same thing. And you guys just become like a tight-knit community who care about one another. Now, I've been told many times that, let's say Bob is the front door to the gym. Somebody who's brand new. I've had so many people tell me, you know, I wanted to go to the kickboxing gym or the MMA gym, and I decided one day I'm gonna go. Finally gonna do it. And they get to the front door and then they, nope, not today. I've been told this so many times by so many people that it takes a lot of courage to step inside that gym. So, anybody who wants to be extra kind, extra courteous, if you see somebody new in the class, like walk in for your 5 o'clock class, and you're like, oh, that person's new, I haven't seen them before. Just walk over and introduce yourself, say hi, welcome them. That is amazing. That is something which is gonna go so far, because we sometimes forget, I forget how scary it can be going to a martial arts gym. And the person's there and they don't know anybody else, and it's kind of like, you know, little kids when they first get to their first day of school at kindergarten. They're not happy about it, they're nervous. It's intimidating. So if you can be the person who goes over, introduces yourself, you know, pulls them over, says, oh, these are my buddies in class here, and you kind of make them feel welcome, oh, that goes so far. One of the kindest things you could possibly do. And the very last thing that I'm going to mention today, even though there are many more things, but the very last one that I want to mention is treating all skill levels the same. Now, I know for a fact that many of the high-level fighters throughout Canada and even down in the States do not treat all people equally. How do I know this? Because I will get messages from people and they'll say, oh, Gabriel, you know, I had a chance to meet you last week and thanks so much for not being a jerk. Kind of like, oh, what do you mean? And they're like, well, the other guys that I've tried to go and introduce myself to or have a conversation with just like shut me down. They don't want to engage, and it just seems like the community starts getting an ego. Right? People who have done things start getting an ego, and they're like, okay, I'll talk to other fighters, I'll talk to other high-level people, but you know, if you haven't had this many fights, you haven't won this many titles, no, you don't get common courtesy. Stop that. Doesn't matter if somebody's in on the first day at the gym, they've been there for a month, they've been there for 10 years, they're the coach, they're whatever. You treat everybody the same. We're not judging people based off their fight accomplishments and such in terms of how kind are we to them. I get upset when I hear that people are treating me different, right? They're treating me in a special way because I've accomplished this as opposed to other people who are trying to accomplish things. So treat everybody at your gym, everybody in the world, in the fight world, the same way, regardless of what skill level they are and what they have accomplished. And I think if you do these 5 things, the atmosphere at your gym is just going to become so much more positive. People are going to like you so much for being that person who creates positivity and joy, and it's just all good things. Thanks for joining, guys. I'll see you back on the channel soon.